Yo, what is up everyone? Hope all's going well for ya. Welcome back to Get Jacked. Now today, we're continuing off here on official PvP, starting out here up top. We're going to be doing something a little bit different, going through another Q&A type video. I'm pretty excited. I really like going through answering all those, but I'll show you where we're at with the Wyverns and stuff like that. I've been on server refresh streams, trying to get into full servers all weekend for these battles and stuff, but I've been unfortunately not that successful at getting in. So these guys are like 50% raised, and I haven't been here very much because I've been trying to get into servers, but check them out. Everyone said that the Ice Wyvern was looking good, so I'm going to take your word for it and just go with that. It looks pretty decent. So they're pretty far along. I got this poison one over here as well. That one just looks normal. But let me show you what the eggs I've got started out. I'm also going to get another whole batch of them. I've just got some eggs laid down so that they start their fertilization, stuff like that. A ton of people have been asking for like episodes on just mutations and all that kind of stuff. So I want to definitely get into that. I want to do more of just the hatching and stuff in general, just because that's really cool. What is this ragdoll going on over here? That looks amazing. What is this? Base defense right there. You can't even see what's behind it. You just got to put up a shield of ragdolls. That's nice. All right. Anyway, I'll go in here. Let's see if I can get through these doors. The ping on this server has been crazy today. Like, just in general, like, all the servers have been super lagging. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, that being said, what we're going to be getting into is I figured we'd put together all of those extra questions, all the stuff that I didn't get to answer in the last Q&A that we had last week, and just basically answer those, go through a bunch of random stuff today. We've got a bunch of random, like, I don't know, tasks, I guess, to do, so I figured we might as well put them all together and answer some more questions, because people gave like really good feedback on that, and I loved it. It was really nice to be able to like connect with the community and stuff, so that's something that I'm probably going to do more often, and including today, I guess. So these are all the eggs I've got started out. I've also got some Therizino and Pteranodon in here. Those are just the first round. I'm going to be hatching probably double this to start out with, but why don't we get into something else? Alright, we'll find an Alpha Wyvern. This will be able to feed 3 wyverns for quite a while. As long as I keep salting it, we should be good. I lure them inside of this little cavern because otherwise they're so hard to get in the air. Anyway, first question from Aditha. Not seeing any other tribe players or other player structures on your server or videos. Is it just a coincidence? It keeps bugging me. Well, sometimes you'll see allied stuff throughout the map. You might see allied griffins and things like that. But really, yeah, there aren't many tribes other than ally ones on the server. We do have 5, I think, total tribes on here, so there are quite a bit. It probably does not help with the lag on the server, but they are all allies, so we're all friends on the server. It's nice to have that kind of dynamic, and then everybody else can kind of do their own thing, you know, they're not all in the same tribe. So anyway, next one coming from Valbright54 asking, can you use Dodix as soakers? And I really wish you could. I wish I could say yes, because the amount of Dodicarous saddles that you find inside of drops is kind of crazy. I have so many Ascended Dodix saddles, but really I don't think there's that big of a use for them. For one, they're not like Stegos or anything like that. You will get shot off of the back of them if you're trying to soak. And of course, I mean, they don't have like the highest HP. They do take obviously reduced damage when rolling, but doesn't really help when soaking bullets or anything like that, unfortunately. You got to stick to Stegos. Alright, and the next one was coming from JakeSploder921. What do you do while taming, and how do you know when to come back? So, when to come back, obviously, you gotta use Dododex. So, if you don't know what Dododex is, it's a site that obviously shows you exactly how much everything's gonna take for a tame, how long it's gonna take, all that kind of stuff. It's super useful and pretty much a necessity if you're taming stuff unofficial, because otherwise you're going to be checking back way too often because taming times take forever. But what I usually do is what you probably do, and what probably brought you to my videos and things like that, is I usually watch YouTube videos, stuff like that. I'll watch people getting drops or raising other dinos and stuff like that, and that's just really interesting. At least you get to see, basically, if you watch someone else do it, you get to see 2 instances of ARK running at once, because sometimes taming can take forever. But anyway, next one coming from Randigman. He's wondering, what's a good health stat on a Rex? Now, a good health stat, now I'll break it down just a little bit. So a good one I would say is like 10.5k HP. That's a pretty good Rex base. But I would say like a really, really good one that you really want to look for is something around 11.5 to 12.5k HP. And that's really on the high end, something that like mostly only like mega tribes and stuff like that have. But if you get that stat, it's always a good thing to trade and whatnot. So you want to look for somewhere in that range, and for melee, if you're looking for bosses or something like that, at least like 380 to like 425% melee. If you take out a magnifying glass forever and look around for a Rex with like 7k HP to start out with, that should be a good indicator that it's really good, but that usually takes forever. Alright, and this one comes from Jaden Martinek, and he asks, what are mutations that your tribe has, and what's your favorite besides the Giga? So we've actually got a couple. Actually, some of those eggs that we're going to be hatching soon should hopefully contain those stats as well. I'm actually going to go around and show you all those in a future episode, but just to name off a couple of them, we do have a red Parasaur, a blue Parasaur, pink Quetzal is on the way. That one I'm really excited for. Quetzal, well, not even the pink head. We've had the pink head before, but the pink wings on that one. That one's actually one that we borrowed from someone else, so you'll only get to see it, hopefully, when I hatch that one tomorrow, I think. But anyway, we've got orange and pink there, Xenos. Like I said, we'll go through all that, but I think the coolest one that we have so far is the red Parasaur. Like, red, I don't know, just how big the mutation is. It's almost like having like the big yellow mutation stuff on Brontos, but that's got to be my favorite. Anyway, Harry Pigeon asks, where would you say is the best spot to collect oil in Ragnarok if you don't have an oil pump or a sea creature? So if you don't have an oil pump, that makes things quite difficult. I think you should probably set one up either on the southern island or in the middle kind of snow biome area. But if you don't have those and you don't have a sea creature either, I think the best way to go is to either tame up something like a frog or a baryonyx, something that you can get underwater, because that's really going to be the best if you don't have an oil pump. Otherwise, if you go to the very the very middle of the map where there is the bridge that crosses the canyon, you're actually going to find, well, some oil pumps for one, and also oil in the caves and things like that. So if you go to the middle tundra area on Ragnarok, you're going to find mineable oil and things, but it's not going to be that much, really. Alright, the lag was getting really bad in this cave as well, and it was making me like teleport back and forth, but I did end up finding some other people running through the cave, but they were running through with a vulture? Kind of wondering if it would actually be funny to use a vulture, but I mean, they've got two people in that. I usually just run through at this point with a whip. If the worm comes out and gets you stuck, just whip the worm. Unfortunately, they changed it. You cannot get RGs or anything in here anymore. And someone actually took our RG out, unfortunately. So we're back to the Stone Age of not being able to use anything inside this cave. But anyway, I saw those people and decided to just run ahead of them as fast as possible and just get as many of the drops as I could before they took them all. Anyway, not related to ARK, Will Goer asks, did you play any sports in high school? And could you say Trip sucks? And for sure, Trip sucks. I totally agree with that. I was going to say it probably anyway. But I did play, I guess not play, but peace out person with the vulture. Oh, never mind. Lag. I did play wrestling. That's a weird way. I was just about to say that. It's a weird way to put it. But I was in wrestling, and I also played football in high school. So definitely did that, but I played video games throughout the entire time. It was just something I kept on the down low. It wasn't quite as socially acceptable to spend your entire lifetime playing video games. Now, more so. But anyway, we've got Faithful Toast asking, how are you able to play that long just because your fans want to see ARK? I think it gets boring after a while. So it definitely does. I mean, there's always points where you need to take a break from ARK, go play something else, start over fresh or something. But honestly, there's just so much going on in the game that you just can't, I don't know, do it all. Like, even at my point, I'm sure there's some dinos that I've never tamed or done, or I've never done things a certain way. And I think if you do it always the same way, or just do PvP, or just do this or that, it would probably get boring. But if you just take all of the parts of ARK and try them at, like, different times, I don't think it gets as boring. But anyway, I liked this answer to that question better anyway. It's me's response. What the heck are you on about? He's in a huge tribe with gigas of wyverns and everything he can have fun 24/7 by flying around on his inbred wyverns. I'm in a shitty tribe that gets raided by big tribes 24/7. The best tame we might tame before getting raided again is a fucking RG. And yes, That's very true. It's most people's situation in ARK. So if you're in a big tribe, you should respect your position and you need to play 24 hours and never leave the game. That's what you should take from that. You take your position in an alpha tribe very seriously because there are people that are a lot less fortunate than you are. And the next one coming from Matt Hansford. Yes, why don't you use fire arrows in boss fights? And actually, it was something that people always wanted to do at the beginning when they first came out, but it actually turns out that flame arrows actually cap at a certain amount of HP. It won't, do that much to things like gigas and stuff, but also I don't believe that they actually work in the boss arenas, but regardless, they just don't do very much damage at all. Metal arrows are way better. They ignore armor, which I don't think the bosses have, but they also do just way more damage than anything else. And then Brought Them asks, hey, are you not aware of the ladder aligning trick? Every time you place something, you brag about being so careful instead of just doing it perfectly with a ladder. I don't get it. I understand. I understand the frustration. Yes, ladders are the way to best line up most things, vaults, stuff like that. I didn't know about it until joining into this tribe. Yes, I'm always happy about my placement, by the way. When you place a vault perfectly or something, it's nice. Usually I don't do that, but I mean, yeah. But what you can do for gates and things like that is stand on top of a ladder while placing the thing. So you place a ladder kind of a few spaces away, but the problem is sometimes it doesn't work if it's not lined up correctly with the foundations. And honestly, I probably will be using that ladder trick from now on. So if you don't know what that is, definitely use a ladder to line up anything, gates, vaults, stuff like that. You just place it on the floor in front of it and then stand on the ladder, and you can place it just like being in a better version of K mode. So glad that you brought that up. Anyway, this nice person asks, are you Russian? And my answer to that is absolutely yes. 100% Russian. Yes. And then Astrox X asks, what specs does your PC have? Also, what is a decent affordable PC for ARK? I get this question a lot, and it kind of depends. If you want to run ARK in, very low settings, you can run it on decent PCs with maybe like a 900 series graphics card and do pretty well. But it also depends on how big your tribe is, how big your base is. For my PC, I have all of the info for that in the About section on my profile. I do have a 1070 graphics card. That's kind of probably the biggest thing that makes a difference. And then also I found that RAM makes a big difference. So I have 32 gigs of that. You'll find yourself using a lot with ARK. But anyway, next one coming from Arkaholic XD, and that's, how did you get into making YouTube videos, and is your channel name pronounced GT Jacked or Get Jacked? It's Get Jacked. I think I say that at the beginning of every video, so don't get it confused. It's Get Jacked. Anyway, I got into started making YouTube videos just because I play way too much ARK and had too much time to do it. So that's pretty much it. I started posting like my newbie builds and stuff like that when the game literally first came out, and since then it's come into something maybe a little bit better, who knows. Anyway, that's the last question for today. I have a ton of fun answering these. If you want to ask a question for next time, definitely just type hashtag Q&A at the beginning of whatever question you want. I'm probably going to do these every week and a half. It's nice to just get some of this farming stuff. I'm going to start putting together all the drops and all that. This one was a little bit last minute, so there's not as much cool stuff like drops, and the fishing just was not working with this lag. I tried it. I wanted to get some good loot or something, but that wasn't working for me. So definitely hit that thumbs up if you like this type of video, and or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks a lot, everybody. Actually, I'm going to show you the amount of turrets that we just cranked out at the end of this. There we go. Check it out. I think a total of 180 or something like that. These are all going into a new area that we're working on. New final breeding area, hopefully. Anyway, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.